We begin tonight with news from our #1 industry. The Bahamas welcomed a record number of visitors to our shores in 2019. This despite the significant damage sustained on Abaco and Grand Bahama from last year's Hurricane Dorian. In fact, once a monster storm left the country, tourism officials immediately began spreading the message around the world that the Bahamas remains open for business. Altovise Munnings joins us live in studio with more details from the Tourism Minister's press conference at the Bahama Convention Center this afternoon. Good evening, Altovise.
Well, good evening, Bahamas, and good evening, Desmond. Minister of Tourism and Aviation, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, announced at a press conference at Caribbean Travel Marketplace at the Baha Mar Resort this afternoon that the Bahamas has exceeded a record-breaking 7 million visitors traveling to our shores in 2019, described as the strongest tourism numbers in our history. Now, although tourism was thriving before Hurricane Dorian hit last September, tourism officials didn't waste any time spreading the message around the world that the Bahamas remains open for business, and it worked.
The ministry attributes this historic success to the hard work and dedication of Bahamians at all levels of the tourism industry, who have ensured that the Bahamas is open for business and still rocking.
Combined with data-driven, agile marketing, authentic storytelling, and an aggressive public relations campaign, Minister of Tourism and Aviation, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, acknowledges that welcoming 7.2 million visitors to the Bahamas in 2019 is a win for every Bahamian. Here's a breakdown. The highest recorded amount of stopover visitors to the Bahamas totaled 1.78 million last year. 1.45 million of those tourists came from the United States. Cruise passengers to the Bahamas make up the remaining numbers, as the Bahamas is the largest cruise destination in the Caribbean. And just as a reminder, the Bahamas recorded 6.6 million visitors in 2018. It represents a 9% increase. Minister de Aguilar maintains that while Hurricane Dorian did indeed impact tourism on Abaco and Grand Bahama, it didn't slow the country's tourism growth.
Ministry executives have traveled to New York and to Miami and to Canada and to London, to Paris and even Australia, speaking at top tourism conferences and meeting with travel partners, media, and influencers to spread the message that the Bahamas is open, beautiful, and ready to welcome all with open arms. 82% of all foreign visitor arrivals coming to the Bahamas come from the United States, with Florida being the single biggest state. But the region, of course, New York, when you put in Connecticut, New Jersey, and the states surrounding, and New York City, of course, surrounding New York City is our single largest market. 7% of our foreign visitors come from Canada, and another 7% come from Europe, and then the rest of the world makes up the difference.
And government spent millions to get to this point. Government allocates $35 million to sales and marketing nationwide, while other marketing funds stem from the Nassau Paradise Island, Grand Bahama, and Out Island promotion boards, as well as individual hotel properties. Now, after Hurricane Dorian, tourism officials had to reallocate the budget with no extra funds provided and use industry data to mount its campaign worldwide.
Ads are not specific to Nassau Paradise Island, not specific to Grand Bahama. We try to generate that interest in the country and then allow people, the promotion boards, to direct those potential customers into their particular funnel, and then the individual properties to drive persons into their hotel.
And as previously indicated, the Minister of Tourism and Aviation, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, credits these new record tourism numbers to every Bahamian working in the hospitality industry and across the Bahamas. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Altovise Munnings, ZNS Network News. Desmond?
Thank you very much, Alto. I'm curious to find out, what other big plans did the Tourism Minister outline for tourism for 2020?
Well, Desmond, Minister de Aguilar indicated that 2020 is already shaping to be another record-breaking year for tourism here in the Bahamas. The Ministry of Tourism will market the Bahamas at next month's Super Bowl in Miami, Florida, as well as welcome increased airlift from the United States, particularly key cities of Boston, Denver, and Houston, Texas, coming up this spring.
Well, thank you very much, Altovise. And hey, Super Bowl, that's a very big deal.